Hi everyone, it is Alyssa from Awkward Author, and this is my weekly vlog and podcast about my sometimes awkward, always awesome author life. And my awesome news this week is that I have finally finished the third book in the series that I'm working on. And I say finally because I feel like I've been working on this book forever. I originally wanted to be done with it early in the fall, I believe, and now we are midway through January, and I've just finally completed the first draft of the book. Plus, I originally intended it to be the final book in the series, and now there's going to be a fourth book, and so the book actually has probably less content than I originally planned on it having to. It's a shorter book than I originally planned on it being, but part of the problem was because I had originally intended to be the last book, and then when I realized it wasn't going to work, I had to go back and change a lot of things and rewrite some things. So it has been a struggle, this book. So I am happy to be done with a first draft. I feel like it's a pretty solid first draft, only because there has been so much rewriting and reconfiguring. That or it's a huge mess. I don't know. I will be going back once I finish the fourth book, which I have not yet started. Then I'm going to be going through and just reading through the whole series and fixing the things, the major issues that need to get fixed, and cleaning some things up before I do a more thorough edit. Just get it so that the story makes sense from beginning to end, because right now I know there are some things that I have to go back and change in the earlier books because of things that I changed later on. But I'm really happy to be done with the third book, so that's good news, and I'm eager to get started on the fourth one. I might not go jump into it right away, just take a little bit of a breather, a day or two before I start work on that, just because I need that space. So I do feel like I struggled quite a bit with this book, and like I said, it was in part because I originally envisioned it being the final book in this series, and because of that, with it being the final book, there was a lot that had to happen in the book. I had to wrap up the storyline that goes through the whole series, as well as the story of this individual book, and they didn't really fit together neatly originally. I think I saw them fitting together better, and then I realized, no, that wouldn't work, and so I kept changing things as I was trying to make it work, until I got to the point where I realized, things are getting so complicated now. This book is just, it's too unwieldy. It doesn't flow right. I'm trying to do too much. The book's complicated and confusing, and not that I'm trying to insult my readers or anything, but I was confused just writing it, and so I knew that people would be confused when they were reading it, because it really was too much going on, too many characters. It was a mess. That's what it was. So the epiphany came to me that, this is going to be a 4-book series, and in the fourth book, I can create a storyline that's going to, incorporate, the storyline that goes through the whole series. And so, there'll be 2 mysteries sort of, but they're going to fit together and wrap up, the whole thing, at the end. So, that, once I had that epiphany, that was my aha moment, because then I could be like, okay, I don't have to solve every crisis in the universe with this third book. I just have to, come up with a satisfying conclusion for the, the storyline in that book, and, drop some, I don't know what you want to say, not hints, get people interested in, reading the fourth book, because that'll, finish out the series kind of thing. So, yeah, like I've said, this is my first time ever writing a book series, and I don't think it comes naturally to me. I mean, I don't know that it comes naturally to anyone, but it's certainly something I have struggled with. And as I've said, the reason I'm working on a series is because I do feel like, especially with self-publishing, being an indie author, I think there's a lot more potential for, promoting a series versus promoting standalone books, especially when you're an unknown and maybe figuring out ways to get people to read your books. So I definitely wanted to try a series. I will probably try another series again, depending on how this one goes, but I think I might approach it a little differently the next time I write a series. Like I've said with this one, there's mysteries, obviously, to it. It's a crime thriller kind of thing. And so there's mysteries in each book, that get solved at the end of the book, and then there is a mystery that goes through all the books. So if I was comparing it to like television shows, I think I've made this comparison before, like what they do in Veronica Mars is very similar to, how this goes, where there's, in each season of Veronica Mars anyway, there's like, a mystery that starts, at episode 1 and goes through all the way to the final, episode in that season. But also in each individual show, there's a mystery that gets solved. And so that's kind of, on a much smaller scale anyway, that's kind of the idea with my book series. Whereas, something like a show like Law and Order or Midsummer Murders or something like that, each episode is a self-contained unit. There is no, as far as I know, there's no like mystery that starts it. You don't have to watch every single episode in order because you can watch any one. There's no mystery that goes from like, episode 1 to the final episode in the series kind of thing. And so definitely I'm thinking that if I do this again, if I write another series, in this genre, which I probably will attempt at some point, not immediately because I'm definitely going to need a break, but if I attempt it again, that might be the approach I take, just having a character or multiple characters that are going to appear in each book, and that'll be the thing that links the books together, but maybe not have like a mystery that kind of carries through each book in the series. We'll see. I mean, I do have an idea kicking around in my head, for something that's like that, although even that has a little bit of an overarching mystery that goes through all the books, but it's not quite as pronounced as the one in the series that I'm working on now. Just sort of a vague mystery, I guess I will say. I don't know. I'm rambling. You don't even know what I'm talking about because I'm just using these vague terms. But anyway, it has been a struggle working on a series for me, and a challenge. But I have enjoyed it, even if I have, found it a bit of a struggle. And like I said, I'm not done yet, so maybe I'm speaking prematurely here, but it seems to be working, and I feel like it's going well, and I am eager to work on the next book because I feel pretty confident about it now, and I feel pretty confident, about this book that I just completed because, it does seem to fit together nicely. I mean, one thing that I struggled with in the book, especially with all the reconfiguring things and stuff, was the pacing, getting the pacing right and making sure that, each plot point, this stuff didn't just come out of nowhere, that it kind of everything fit together and, followed logically, this, because of this happens, that kind of thing. Which, that makes, I think, a story work a little bit better, but it was something that maybe my first version didn't really have. Like, it was too, it just, things happened, but they didn't really necessarily happen, because this happened, that happens kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but, so I think it's a stronger story now, than the first version that I started working on, and so, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I still have a ways to go as far as finishing out this series, but, I'm still hoping, as I said last week, I'm hoping that I can get this series launched sometime in this spring, mid to late spring maybe. We'll see, and we'll see how that goes. So one thing I was talking about last week too was my goals for 2020, talking about how I want to increase my earnings from my writing, from my books in 2020. And, right now I have a little bit coming in each month, not very much. Obviously, I want to do more. And I'm hoping that with this series and promoting it, finding a good way to promote it, I can do that. But of course, there's other things that I've looked into as well. And something that comes from just like maybe experience, having been around, not so much of a spring chicken anymore, I'm less, how could I put it? I'm less eager to, try things that, try different approaches that I don't feel like are things that I want to do. And that isn't to say, you should be stuck in a rut or, not try new things or anything like that. But I think you have to know what works for you. And sometimes, that's just, experience. You find out like this works for you, this doesn't work for you. And what works for one person isn't going to work for another. So something I considered, I think last year, was trying to make some more money by writing nonfiction stuff, like writing blog posts or something. I looked into, looking into maybe writing through Medium, which is a blogging platform where you can make money, as a Medium writer. And there are a lot of people who do and make very good money from it. You do have to, I think, post content pretty regularly, to reliably earn money from Medium. And here's the thing, like in the past, I've done some blogging. There were times when I was like pretty serious about it. I here and there made money from it, but never really a significant amount of money. Certainly it was never a full-time thing for me. And I can write, I'm good at writing, and it comes relatively easy to me, even writing, nonfiction things as opposed to fiction, but I don't want to do it. That's the short answer, that doesn't bring me any joy. And there's, it's not to say there's anything wrong with blogging, and, if you enjoy it, by all means, continue with it, pursue it. Hopefully you can make some money from it. I'm sure there's ways I could make money from blogging, but it's just not something I want to do. And so, as I was just kind of like looking through things this year and thinking about different things, it's like, I was looking into, maybe I could get back into blogging. I could have some money coming in from that. And it's just, I don't want to do it. And so, that is not, an avenue I'm going to be pursuing. I had, because I make these, podcasts and videos and whatever, I'm out there on the internet. I get contacted once in a while by different services, companies that are looking to promote, their service, product, whatever, to people that they think would be, listening or watching these episodes. And I don't get a ton of contacts, a ton of people contact me, and usually it's something that has really nothing to do with what this is about. People are, just searching, and, someone, who is their social media person or whatever, is trying to find someone who maybe sort of is a fit, they're just searching on like one specific keyword or something like that, and, these episodes come up, and they're not really aware of what the show is about or anything like that. But, so yeah, the person, the organization that contacted me last week, they seem to do a number of things which, some of it is stuff I actually do, like print on demand stuff, but that's not what this show is all about. And then the other thing, I guess, that I don't even know what they're actually selling, but they do have services to help people who are looking to create, in their terms were low content and no content books. I think it might have even been ebooks, which I don't entirely understand. Typically, like low content or no content books is referring to like blank books, like, journals or maybe planners, and sometimes they have like guided journals and stuff like that. Which is, something, if you're looking for different avenues to make money, it's certainly something to consider. There's definitely money to be made there. It's obviously a competitive market because it doesn't take too long to create a blank book. It takes a little bit longer to create like a guided journal, but again, not that long. It's not like writing a whole book, like writing a whole nonfiction book or writing a whole novel or anything like that. It certainly takes a lot less time. But again, there's a lot of competition out there. If you do a search for, publishing no content books or publishing low content books, you'll find, a lot of articles come up, different, how-to books and stuff that'll come up. And apparently, like, the services that this company was selling. And so, there was like I got this email that came in through my website, read it, and, my gears, the gears start turning in my head, like, no, that's something I could do to, bring in some more money and, think about that. And then it's like, you know what? I don't want to do it. I mean, part of it is that I do have a lot on my plate right now, besides writing novels, which, doesn't bring in income. I do have, a business that I run. Like I said, I do print on demand stuff as well. So there's only so many hours in the day. But certainly I gave it some thought, I gave it maybe an hour of thought. I if that much, I don't know, I'm probably overestimating there. But, for a moment I considered it, and then it was like, you know what? I really don't have the desire to do that. It's not something I want to get involved in, and, I got enough already going on, and, that's not for me. And so that's, I guess, maybe a sign of maturity or something where you can actually, for me, I guess, to actually, like, instead of diving into, like, different things and different opportunities, to kind of know what I want and, what I don't want, and, just choosing what, to me, is what I want, and pursuing that path. And, just me musing on things out loud. But if you are like me, if you're someone that's always, ooh, shiny. No, if you're always, looking for new opportunities or, different ways to either grow your business or, what you want to do. One thing I will say is that, age and experience has definitely shaped me, and, given me the knowledge that, I have a pretty good understanding of myself, what I want, what I like, what I enjoy, and also, what I don't enjoy and what's just not something really I have an interest in. And so, that's, I guess, just what I wanted to say on that subject. But just, Sorry, I'm watching some deer run around in the woods. I don't know what's going on. They're acting a little crazy out there. Sorry, getting all distracted there. Focus, Alyssa, focus. Squirrel. Anyway, that was just my musings there. And like I said, the big news this week is that I finished the third book in the series. I am going to be soon, very soon, diving into working on the fourth one, which I'm looking forward to. And soon we'll be talking about, revising and editing. And next thing you know, we'll be talking about launch dates and launch plans. So it's exciting. So I do thank you for following along with this journey of mine, and it's fun, guys. It's I'm enjoying it, so I hope you are too. And I don't know what stage that you're at in your publishing or writing career, but I hope you're enjoying it as well. And so I'm going to sign off there. As I've said, I put out new episodes of Awkward Author each week. You can watch them on YouTube or listen along as a podcast. If you'd like more information, you can visit awkwardauthor.com, or you can visit alyssagrosso.com, which is ALISSAGROSSO.com. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you all again and talk to you all again next week. So have a great week, everyone.